Interview, take two. Hey, my name is Rhasaan Nichols. I am a Hollywood director, but not the rich kind. For me, quarantine life is very similar to my everyday. I spend a lot of time by myself, writing, pitching, creating, and living with financial uncertainty every single day. Hello.
Hello.
Hey. Yeah, it's good to see you. You give her kisses for me, please? You getting kisses? Thank you. Back in January, I was on the verge of a major career breakthrough. I spent 7 days in Haiti filming a documentary with my Yale classmate, Dave Fils-Aimé. We were going to highlight his amazing basketball program that's serving the youth. Basketball to uplift the youth, to be exact. We were going to finally change the narrative on the world's first Black republic and even re-engage the 2 million Haitians living abroad to reinvest in their homeland. And then...
The coronavirus pandemic is slamming the U.S. workforce like an iceberg striking the Titanic. 3.3 million Americans filed for unemployment, the largest number ever recorded.
The economic ramifications of the coronavirus are also far-reaching.
Interesting, Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, was already on quarantine before coronavirus. Government protests and gang violence shut down the city in the fall of 2019. For 3 months, adults couldn't go to work, children couldn't go to school, no one was safe to venture outside. But they got through it. The chaos had just settled right before I arrived in January. Instead of devastation, what I found were people with immense pride and an incredible work ethic. There's a hustle in the air, an energy in the streets of Port-au-Prince that rivals even Manhattan. And the children have so much heart. The story that brought me to Haiti is bigger than basketball. For a nation with the lowest GDP in the Western Hemisphere, this is what economic development looks like. Having a robust sports economy has served the U.S. very well. And like healthcare, it's all very incredibly political. The communities I met there are very invested in building something they can stand on, something they can pass on to the next generation. They want and deserve to partake in the global sports economy. So how are they to handle COVID-19?
The poorest country in the Americas is on lockdown. Haiti's airports, schools, factory, and seaports are closed.
The average Haitian lives off of less than $3 a day. There will be no stimulus check, no CARES Act, no unemployment insurance benefits. At-home quarantine is a first world problem and a third world impossibility. I'm both grateful and humbled for the perspective I gained. The 2010 earthquake that devastated Haiti killed 300,000 people. That's 2% of the nation's population wiped out in a single day. Until recently, most Americans in the rest of the first world never had to confront their own mortality on such a scale, something developing nations deal with daily. Americans never even had to consider the very real possibility of our economy tanking or there being an absence of a social safety net. Now, 10 years after the earthquake that devastated Haiti, we have a similar global event, another worldwide outpouring of concern for Black lives. You probably heard about the billions of dollars in international aid pledged to Haiti after the disaster, but you probably did not hear that the country never even saw half of that money. White people are speaking up, brown people are speaking up, everybody's speaking up. Finally. Like a 7.0 earthquake, the entire Western world has been shocked and convicted by the cries of the oppressed. The great lie that is white supremacy is forever exposed, as are the persisting injustices inflicted upon Black people globally. It's nice to be seen and heard, but I have no peace. When is the other shoe gonna drop? My anxiety was realized when a young Black man was found hanging from a tree outside of Los Angeles. As a descendant of enslaved Black Americans, I am encouraged. However, similar to the earthquake in Haiti a decade ago, I just hope Black lives still matter once the news cycle moves on.
Yeah, we got one more day to pack everything, finish. I mean, this here. I gotta